Welcome to Storyflow Diaries. Today we have an incredible story about resilience, kindness, and second chances. Imagine working long hours at a gas station, struggling to make ends meet, when an unexpected encounter changes everything. That's exactly what happened to Rachel, a hard-working cashier whose life took a dramatic turn after meeting none other than soccer legend Lionel Messi. One ordinary evening, Rachel was behind the counter, exhausted from another long shift, when Messi walked in. She didn't recognize him at first, just another customer in a hoodie. But what happened next was nothing short of life-changing. A simple act of kindness from the football star set off a chain of events that transformed Rachel's future in ways she never could have imagined. Stay till the end to see how one moment, one unexpected meeting, can alter a person's destiny forever. Rachel had grown used to the quiet hum of the gas station at night, the flickering neon lights, the occasional customer, and the steady beeping of the register. She was exhausted, but she had no choice but to keep going. At 7 months pregnant, she was struggling to make ends meet, barely able to afford rent, let alone prepare for the baby on the way. She had no family to lean on, no partner to help her, just an unwavering determination to push forward. Every shift felt like a battle, but she refused to give up. Then, just past midnight, a sleek black SUV pulled up to pump number 3. Rachel barely paid attention at first, too focused on stifling a yawn, until the driver stepped out. She blinked in disbelief. It was Lionel Messi, the legendary footballer, standing right there in front of her, dressed casually, as if he were just another customer. Her heart pounded as he approached the counter, placing his card on the counter. "Do you take contactless payment?" he asked in his soft Argentine accent. Rachel nodded quickly, still in shock. As she processed the transaction, Messi's eyes drifted to her stomach. "How far along are you?" he asked kindly. 7 months, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Messi hesitated for a moment, then leaned in slightly. "Are you okay?" His voice was genuine, filled with concern. Rachel wasn't sure how to answer. No one had asked her that in a long time. She forced a smile, but for the first time in months, she felt the weight of everything pressing down on her. And somehow, standing there in front of a global superstar, she realized this was more than just a random encounter. It was the start of something she never could have imagined. Rachel stared at Messi, his simple question hanging in the air. "Are you okay?" No one had asked her that in months, not sincerely at least. She hesitated, unsure of how much to say. But something about his gentle expression, the way he seemed to genuinely care, made her lower her guard. She took a deep breath. "Honestly, I'm exhausted. I'm barely getting by. And in 2 months, I'll have a baby with no idea how I'm going to provide for them." The words spilled out before she could stop them. Messi didn't interrupt. He just listened. Rachel's mind drifted to the night everything changed. A party she hadn't planned to attend, filled with strangers, laughter, and one reckless decision. She hadn't thought much of it at the time, until weeks later, when 2 pink lines on a pregnancy test shattered her world. She'd considered every option, but in the end, she chose to keep the baby, even if it meant struggling alone. Even if it meant nights like this, exhausted and afraid of what the future held. Messi nodded thoughtfully, his gaze never leaving hers. Then, after a brief pause, he said something Rachel never expected. "I want to help." She blinked. "What?" He smiled. "You shouldn't have to do this alone." Rachel had no idea what he meant, what kind of help he was offering. But in that moment, for the first time in a long time, she felt something she hadn't felt in months. Hope. Rachel stared at Messi, convinced she had misheard him. "You want to help?" He nodded. "Not with money. At least, Not in the way you're thinking. I have a business, and I think you'd be a great fit for a position there. Rachel's stomach twisted with doubt. A job? From Lionel Messi? It sounded too good to be true. Why me? She asked cautiously. Because I see someone who refuses to give up, Messi said simply. You remind me of people I've met along the way. Fighters. You just need a real chance. Rachel wanted to believe him, but after everything she'd been through, trusting wasn't easy. Still, what did she have to lose? If there was even the slightest chance to build a better future for her baby, she had to take it. Okay, she finally said, exhaling shakily. I'll do it. A week later, Rachel walked into one of Messi's business offices, trading in her gas station uniform for a blouse and slacks. The transition wasn't easy. She had never worked in an office before. Emails, spreadsheets, professional etiquette, it all felt foreign. She made mistakes, questioned herself constantly, and struggled to keep up. But every time doubt crept in, she reminded herself why she was doing this. For her baby, for the life she had promised to build. So, she showed up every day, worked harder than ever, and refused to quit. Because for the first time in a long time, she had something worth fighting for. A second chance. Rachel poured herself into her new job, determined to prove that Messi's faith in her wasn't misplaced. She arrived early, stayed late, and absorbed everything she could. At first, it was overwhelming, learning office procedures, handling responsibilities she had never faced before. But she refused to let fear hold her back. Slowly, she found her rhythm. Her supervisors took notice of her dedication, and before long, she wasn't just keeping up, she was excelling. With each paycheck, Rachel felt a weight lifting off her shoulders. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't just surviving, she was building a future. She saved every dollar she could, and after months of hard work, she signed the lease on a small but cozy apartment. No more sleeping on a worn-out couch in a cramped space. This was her home, a place where she and her baby could start fresh. Then on a crisp autumn morning, Rachel held her newborn daughter in her arms for the first time. Hope. She had chosen the name not just for its beauty, but for what it represented. The journey that had nearly broken her had instead led her here, to this moment, to this new beginning. Late one night, cradling her baby, Rachel picked up her phone and typed a message. Messi, I don't know if I can ever thank you enough. Because of you, my daughter has a home, a future, a mother who believes in herself again. You didn't just give me a job, you gave me a second chance at life. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. She hit send, wiping away tears. Whatever the future held, she knew one thing for certain. She wasn't alone anymore. And that changed everything. Years passed, and Rachel's hard work never wavered. She climbed the ranks, proving herself time and time again, until she was no longer just another employee. She was a manager. The woman who had once struggled to make it through a single shift at a gas station was now leading a team, making decisions, and building a career she never thought possible. One morning, an unexpected envelope arrived at her office. She opened it carefully, her heart skipping a beat as she read the invitation. An exclusive event hosted by Lionel Messi. She smiled, shaking her head in disbelief. It had been years since that night at the gas station. Yet here he was, still finding a way to remind her how much her life had changed. The event was grand. Elegant lighting, a sea of well-dressed guests, and an atmosphere buzzing with energy. But Rachel barely noticed. Her eyes searched the crowd until they landed on him. Messi. As she approached, he turned and smiled. Rachel. She took a deep breath, emotions swelling in her chest. I never got to thank you properly, she said. You changed my life. Messi shook his head, his expression warm. You changed your life. I just opened a door. Rachel blinked back tears, knowing he was right. She had fought for this, for every step forward, for every moment she now cherished. Just then, a burst of laughter caught her attention. She turned to see her daughter, Hope, now a bright-eyed little girl, running across the venue's garden, kicking a small soccer ball with pure joy. Rachel watched her, a wave of gratitude washing over her. This was her life now. Stable, happy, filled with possibilities. She looked back at Messi, smiling. "Thank you for opening that door." He nodded. "You were always meant to walk through it." This story reminds us that hard work and determination can change lives. But sometimes, all it takes is one person believing in you to open the right door. Rachel's journey shows that no matter how difficult things may seem, the right opportunity, paired with perseverance, can lead to a brighter future. What do you think of Messi's gesture? Would you take an opportunity like this if it came your way? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.